please go crazy for the wonderful Anna Clifford.
Bottomless brews night, so of course everyone's fantastic, myself included. Yeah, no, it's nice to be here. I'm actually just delighted to be in a room full of most people who definitely aren't doing dry January. Because all my friends are doing it and I'm very bored, right? So I'm delighted to be here. I don't really get dry January, like I never got that, not because it's against my people or anything, just would you make the most miserable month of the whole year even more miserable? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't mind if you want to do a bit of a detox, but do it later in the year. Like, do a dry July. Doesn't that sound a lot better? Dry July, because you're a lot happier, it's sunnier, mushrooms are in season. That's what I'm doing this year, dry July. No, it's nice to be here, it's nice to be at Vauxhall. I'm obviously not from London, like I said. You can probably already tell by my accent I am, of course, drunk. I got free booze. No, I'm from Dublin, born and raised, right? But I have to have a little fun fact about you tonight. I didn't always sound like this. When I was a kid, I actually spoke with an English accent. Because my mum's English, not because I was like a freaky, dramatic kid. And up around the age of 9, back home in Dublin, I just copied my mum's accent, and then I changed it. Well, I forced myself to change it, right? Because I was bullied. I was teased really badly, actually, it was quite horrible, you know? Just because I sounded different to all the kids in school, and that wasn't cool. But my mum, she was really nice about it, and said, you know what you show those bullies? Just give them one of these. So that's what I did. I was about this height, I walked straight to that bully and I said, fuck off, Dad! And he did stop once I stopped living at home, so that's why I moved to London about 2 years ago. That's about one of my biggest memories, right, when I have growing up, was how my dad used to kind of give me a lot of stick, and like one time in particular sticks out to me, I was just asking my dad for help, right, and he snapped at me. I was like, Daddy, please help me. And he was like, don't call me that. Don't call me Daddy. I'm not your daddy. I'm your dad. Daddy is what English people call their fathers, and women and gay men from broken homes call their partners. That is one way to open your 9-year-old's eyes. I was like, all right, Dad. He was like, yeah, I'm your dad, and your mum's your mum, and your brother, he's adopted. Sorry, son. I still remember that day so well. You should have seen my brother's face. It looked nothing like ours. I don't know how he did that. I say this all the time. My dad doesn't like it. He doesn't like me mentioning this. It's like, don't ever say I teased you for being English, because that didn't happen. I would never tease you for being a bit English. I'm very fond of being English. I love your mother sometimes. Don't ever say I bullied you for being English. And I was like, yeah? Why wouldn't I say that? When actually more recently, right, I suggested to my dad and all my family that maybe me and my brother should apply for a British passport through my mother, because none of us know what's going to happen with Brexit. I turned around to my dad, after that, why did you start trolling me on Twitter? Start trolling me on Twitter, right? My dad's a bit of a keyboard warrior because he doesn't like to say anything to your face. He won't ever get angry at me or upset to me in person, but he'll do it on the internet. Right, and he does that because he's a typical Irish old man. And if you don't know anything about Irish old men, they're not allowed to show any kind of emotion. They're not allowed to cry. He won't even send me an emoji. How sad is that, right? He's not allowed to send me an emoji. And I get quite upset. To me, my mum loves using emojis. So I asked him one day, I was like, Dad, why don't you send me emojis? And he was like, why would I send you a photo of a shit that looks happier than me? And he's got a bit of a point, right? I never even thought about that. I was like, why the hell is that shit so happy? It's a piece of shit. And why does it have a face in the first place? Like, what has it got to be happy about? It just came out of a bumhole. Ew, like, would you be happy if you came out of a bumhole? No, I actually don't answer that, right? It's the first time I ever said that, all of a sudden, this image of my ex's face flashed up the first time we tried anal. That's exactly what I looked like, a happy little shit staring back at me. But I do love emojis, right? I love emojis. I actually do. I use them all the time. I love emojis, right? Because emojis prove now to me mum and me dad and all my teachers in school that I didn't have to pay attention in English class. I didn't have to stay awake in English class. Because I can now answer everyone back in lovely little pictures. So, you know, like last week, my friend texted me and she said, "How was your night?" And all I said was, smiley face, beer. Sick face, 2 beers. Man emoji, smirky face. Thumbs up, aubergine. Salsa girl. I think it's great now that the aubergine has become the universal symbol for dick. I think it's great because it makes a bit of sense when you think about it, right? Because sometimes they're big and sometimes they're hard. And far too many times now, for me personally, they've been purple. But most of all, they're enjoyable to eat when served correctly. I'm still looking for the perfect aubergine in London, though I haven't found it yet. People often ask me why I moved to London, and I don't say for dick or because my dad bullies me. I just moved here, you know, to meet new people and try new things. And one of the things I signed myself up for that I was a bit too embarrassed to ever try back home, right, was for a pole dancing class. Well, what would the parish think? That's what I thought living back home. What would the church I've never attended think of me? Because even though I'm not a practicing Catholic, I still hold the guilt. And I was always thinking, you know, what would the local priest say if I was trying pole dancing classes? And I think he'd be like, whore. Horrible form of fitness, Anna. Horrible form of fitness. It's like dancing with the devil's dick. I was like, pole dancing classes or religious classes, I think I'm going to be dancing with someone's dick, so. I was excited. I was excited to get to London and I tried this out, this pole dancing, right? And on the first day of this pole dancing class, what happened was the teacher got us all in a circle and she asked us why we were there. And I thought that was pretty weird, right? Because I've done a lot of dance classes in my time. I've never once been asked why I was there, because I thought it was pretty obvious by the title. So all of a sudden, this dance class turned into a support group, and I had daddy issues I didn't even realise actually. And I just said, I'm here for fitness. And that's what most people said, they were here for fitness or for a different type of dancing. And then the last girl, right, she said so beautifully, I was amazed. She just turned around and said, I'm here because someone has just broken up with me and I want to show that prick what he's missing. I was amazed. I was like, oh my god, she just told the truth. She told the truth of why she's actually at this class. I love her. Like the rest of us just bullshit the teacher, you know, you want to hear fitness. Like me personally, I'm here to be a bit more of a hoe. Like, that was amazing. Like she's Spanish, right? I think she's just a bit more real, a bit more sassy, a bit more honest. And she was there to do some kind of revenge pole class again. Yeah. I mean, me personally, I'll just sleep with his brother. He's equally as effective and doesn't cost half as much, and you don't have to even put in much effort, to be honest. I was still amazed by her honesty, and even though I was amazed by her honesty, I do know if the teacher turned around to me in that moment and was like, right, Anna, now tell us why you're really here. I would have thought of anything else. I'd have been like, yeah, no, you're right. I'm actually waiting to get into the fire brigade, and I thought this would be a pretty transferable skill once I got into it. I would have thought of anything else, but I was there for fun and for fitness and to feel sexy and confident, right? Because I think Irish people, as a whole now, anywhere I've ever lived, everywhere, and no one ever seems to think Irish people are sexy, you know? Anywhere I've ever lived, everyone always seems to say, oh my god, they have an Irish friend. They bring to a party and they're like, oh my god, they're great crack. No one ever says they have a great crack. It's not fair, it's not fair. Like, I was dating an English guy here for a while and he did one day turn around to me and was like, do you know what, Anna? You don't look particularly Irish, but you do have an Irish arse. I was like, what's an Irish arse? And he said, it's like the border between the north of Ireland and the south of Ireland. You know it exists, you just can't quite place it. That's not very nice, is it? It's not very nice or very true, I don't think, but it made me feel very insecure about myself. It made me feel very insecure, so I had to start doing squats. I had to start doing squats on every other dick I could find. Like that, but it did make me think. I was like, why do we not I Irish people like, we're not seen as a sexy nation, and I think that's because of our national dance. I blame that on our national dance, right? Irish dance, you need a lot of confidence to be able to dance with someone else, and it's sexy kind of dancing, right? And I was taught in school to dance where you were not allowed to touch the person you were dancing with. They were like, keep your arms in at all times. Like, actually, imagine you had no arms whatsoever. That would be a lot better. And then you just do a bit of this. And if the person you were dancing with tried to get anywhere close to you, you just kick him away. Just kick him away. Get off me, you fucking idiot. That's what I was taught in school. I swear to God, I think that's the reason I'm still single, right? Because I'm in a club, and after a couple of gins, I don't even realise I'm doing it, but I'm just booting them. But I do love dancing. I think it's great. It releases endorphins, and not Irish dancing. That releases emotional damage from the Catholic Church. The Evercolour guy dancing was good, and I wasn't very good at the pole dancing, like I said, but I did get there in the end, and I got my beginner's pole cert. Right, so I was pretty happy with myself, pretty proud. I was like, I have to tell someone. I was like, I'm going to tell my mum and dad for the laugh. So I went on FaceTime and I was like, Mum, Dad, I've got my beginner's pole cert. And they were like, oh my God, we're so proud of you. It's always great to have another language under your belt. Couldn't let them down any more than I have done in life, so I started taking Polish lessons. And to be everyone is Polish for help me. I don't have a clue what I do now. It's such a shame because I love going home to Dublin. It's my favourite thing about going home. All my mum and dad's free food, all their home cooking. The last time I went home, before I boarded my flight, I texted my mum and I said, what's for dinner? And she replied, it's your dad's turn tonight, thumbs up, aubergine. I just got McDonald's, I mean, it was probably Masaka, I couldn't risk it.